Everyone is telling you to build massive context files. But brand new research from February 2026 just proved that doing this actually makes your AI worse. Standard bloated agents.md files drops task success rate by up to 20% with a massive spike in token usage. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why your context file are poisoning your LLM's attention budget and the new curated skills framework you need to use so your AI stops breaking the code. The problem with using /init to generate the context files for your project is that it doesn't really generate tight, structured instructions for your AI agent. Instead, it generates bloat. I'm gonna generate a context file for my project that has over 10,000 commits, so it's a pretty large code base. It has initialized generation. It is doing its work and the first step is almost done, and it used like 52,800 tokens, which on its own is not that bad, but still 52,000 tokens to generate a instructions file, which technically I should be writing. Anyway, so I'm just gonna allow edits in the session and then we're gonna review the generated Claude.md file. So it has already created the Claude.md file, so I'm gonna go to my text editor. I'm just gonna make the text a little bigger for you, and if we see, yep, we have the Claude.md file here. Now if I open this, we have the bash commands, which does it really need to know? I mean, it needs to know two commands to lint and check for type errors, but even that I would be telling it, right? There are no automated test suites, that's fine. The package manager version is, I think, correct. Now, what is Croto or Instant Docs? It is a SaaS knowledge management and support customer platform built on T3 stack. This description straight up is wrong. This is not what the platform is. This is the category of the platform, but this is definitely not what the platform does. So this is the request flow of the app. Go to the middleware, app router, then the TRPC router and the Prisma. Does the AI really need to know this? Probably, but I don't know. The middleware handles multi-tenant routing, KB setting, caching and IP whitelisting. This is fine, but it doesn't really need to be here. These are the key directories. We have the TRPC router, the internal app layout, publish, embed, API routers. This is fine, but it adds things that I don't want the agent to know, and it doesn't include the things that it needs to know. So all mutations are at this, which is fine. For client side we use this, for the server side we use this, and the root router is here. This is fine, but it didn't include which is more important than this, because this is very easily understandable by Claude when actually writing the code. The more important thing is how to actually create a new router. For that, you also have to add the router in the API/TRPC file in the Next.js's API folder, which it doesn't include for some reason. The database stuff is fine. I don't really have any comments on this, but I don't think it really needs to be here, but it's fine. Multi-tenancy, this is also fine. It doesn't include how the custom domain is added, because this is not what the production URL looks like. This is straight up wrong. This is what the code base looks like, but this is not what the production URL looks like, which makes for a lot of problems when actually testing the thing. So it tried to write environment variables. It neither included all the variables and neither included the important ones. These are standard. These are going to be there. We don't really need Discord client because we don't use that. The key technologies that it has written down is fine. Yeah, this is pretty much it. So it is 115 lines of code, 115 lines of markdown, that is, which is fine, but definitely we can do a lot better than this. We can remove a lot of the bloat that the /init command generated, and we can be more specific about the things. And it doesn't include the things that the AI should never do. For example, run a database migration, which I don't want the AI to ever do. Instead, it's just a bunch of bloat, which some of the things are useful, but most of the things I would remove. The research shows that the AI doesn't need encyclopedias. It just needs a lean, tight, structured document which has the most important parts. That's why writing a lean file manually fixes the 20% drop in performance. Now coming to actually implementing this, GitHub's analysis of more than 2,500 public repos found a straightforward pattern. The best context files cover 6 areas. The commands that you allow the agent to run in your project, for example, to run the development server. The project structure, which includes where things live, the overall structure of the files, which folder has what, the file tree. You can have a simple snippet of the overall structure without listing out the files, but actually listing out the folders which contains the file. The tech stack and the version. So you don't just say that you use Next.js in your project, you actually specify what version of Next.js that you're using and whether to upgrade it or not. Code style. In this, you show instead of telling. So just write a snippet of code for the backend or the front end or the component of how the component is structured, how the route is structured, without actually writing out the entire component, just the overall wrapper of the component. The testing and the workflow, how you test and commit the changes to production, and the boundaries, the things that the AI is not allowed to touch in any circumstance. For example, running a database migration or changing the schema without your permission, adding public APIs which touch the database, which a bad actor can exploit. Once you stop fighting your AI with these bloated context files and actually give it the curated boundaries that the AI can't cross, the speed at which you can build completely changes. But how fast can you actually move when your setup is perfect? How far can you push these agents before they break? So subscribe if you have enjoyed so far so that you don't miss the next video.